Should your business be advertising on Microsoft Ads?
Let's talk about that.
Right, here we are. We are back for another Tea Talk, and you will notice we've got yet another fresh face, another newbie on Tea Talks. Aren't we spoiling you? Who are you?
I'm Lou.
Oh, you are. And
Yes,
if
I
for
am.
those of you that watch the Uncut, they might just have seen, by the time this comes out, what is going to be, I think, infamous, the Lou review.
Yes.
Which was
Yes.
brilliant. So if you haven't watched Uncut, it'll probably, by the time this comes out, 1 or 2 episodes ago, we're part of Uncut, which is Evergreen Uncut. If you don't know what that is our behind-the-scenes agency films. And on that, Darren and Lou went off at one of our clients and did the Lou review, which we are seriously considering might have to be a regular feature in our content.
Yes.
But anyway, I digress. Welcome back to Tea Talks. So, Lou, you join us for your first ever Tea Talk. Are you relaxed? Are you relaxing in? Are you okay?
I'm relaxing in.
Take a breath.
Relaxing in. Taking
Right,
a
let's
breath.
let's before we start, let's. There we go. See?
Thank you.
Beautiful. There we go.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Amazing. So, do you want to just give us a little flavour of why you've joined Evergreen and what is your role? Just tell our lovely Tea Talk viewers, because they might not have seen the Uncut. They might be thinking, "Who's Lou?
What?
Where's Darren gone? he's just over there. But where's Darren? Who's Lou?
And go and watch the Uncut.
Yes.
I joined as the head of paid search. I joined Evergreen because I love paid search. In a weird kind of way, but I love it.
And we love that Lou loves paid search. It's amazing.
And I really love generating results for clients, and I really like being part of that journey for clients, and I love feeling excited and part of the team. So a lot of love going on.
Pop quiz.
Yes.
How many years have you been doing paid search?
I have been doing paid search. I'm just trying to quickly do the maths. 14 years.
14 years. Wow. So
Yeah,
what?
no,
What's
don't-
that? 20?
Don't say it quite like that because it makes me sound old.
Just 14 years.
Just
oh,
14
you're
years.
a mere nipper. You're
Fresh,
yes.
fresh out of primary school.
Yeah, exactly that. There you go. Right. Amazing. So, okay. So you've been doing it 14 years.
Yeah.
My God, you've seen some change then
Yes.
over the years. Amazing. So I said to you, so just to give a bit of context as to why we're talking Microsoft Ads today, is Lou and I were talking, and I said, right, you've been in a couple of weeks now. We're going to get you on Tea Talks, and we're going to talk about that. I said, what topic do we want to talk about? And she had everything that she could possibly choose, and she chose Microsoft Ads.
Yes.
So don't blame me. Blame Lou. No, but Microsoft is a really good one. I think it's a really interesting topic because it is something that as an agency, we don't do a huge amount of right now. We're going to do a lot more of
Yes,
it.
we are. Yes, we are.
You heard it here first. But we're going to, and I think most businesses are doing Google, they're running Google ads, and then it's like, oh, we thought about Microsoft, we don't really do it, But you're a big fan. You think businesses are missing a trick
Yes.
not leveraging Microsoft, don't you?
Yes,
As
I
well
do.
as Google. Like Google, you would agree, is the dominant force, but Microsoft is an untapped platform.
Agreed. And I'm not going to pretend that Microsoft is big or Bing, everyone's on Bing, but
Yeah.
no, definitely.
But
It's
Microsoft
untapped.
has a role to play,
It
is really what you
definitely-
think, yeah?
Yeah, it definitely does.
And we're busy talking to our clients right now about adding that string to their bow and building that out. And we've already had some clients go, yes, absolutely. Now you can do it. Now you're really, think about it. We want to do lots of it,
Yeah.
which is very exciting. And as we always try and do with Tea Talks is reflect what we are doing in Evergreen and what the conversations we're having with clients. So let's talk Microsoft Ads then.
Yay.
Come on then, just give us a sort of a kind of, well, I guess first, who's used Microsoft Ads? Are people actually using it? Have you got any numbers and stats and facts and figures you can share
Well,
with us?
everyone is, right? You're binging it. I'm binging it. Everyone's
Are
binging
we?
it.
Are we though? Are we though? Are we? I can't remember the last time I binged it, I'll be honest.
You should be binging it,
Archie,
guys.
there's a soundbite right there. When did you last bing it? I don't know, are they? Talk to us.
Yes, people are binging it.
Okay.
Sometimes knowingly, sometimes unknowingly.
Okay.
But we've seen a slight uplift over the last couple of years, especially when ChatGPT became a thing. Like everyone was super
Well, that is
excited.
the thing now, surely.
Yeah, and
But-
users Bing.
And so what is that? Is that what you mean by people are not using their knowing it? Just what do you mean by that?
I think there's lots of scenarios. So, for example, over the last couple of years, a lot of corporations shut down Chrome. Like they wouldn't let their work laptops use Chrome for whatever reason.
Yep.
And so they predominantly use Edge. And we've noticed over the last couple of years as we did like trends in analytics that during the workday, you can see a lot of users are on Bing. So that's one reason. That's where people are, and you've got to capture those people who are doing the research. The second is you see higher. It's very stereotypical, but unfortunately, data does back it up. A higher proportion of older people use Bing.
Okay.
And if we're going to keep the stereotype running,
what? Yeah. Let's just get all the stereotypes in.
Throw them.
What's older? Come on.
50 plus.
Okay.
But don't worry.
Okay. Oh, we've got years.
Yeah, that's fresh out of primary school.
Yeah, exactly. Just a mere 14 years in Coach. Okay, fine. So, carry on with your stereotypes.
And they tend to be more affluent. That's what you tend to see.
Thing.
So yeah.
Interesting.
And what is interesting is so it's a higher share of desktop user, and it tends to be more males.
Okay.
We're talking like small percentages. We're not talking like it's like 60% or anything, but it's small enough for it to be interesting.
Interesting. Okay.
Before we go any further, if you're enjoying today's Tea Talk, you'll love our Grow with Evergreen podcast. Specifically created for home, garden, and lifestyle brands, it's a podcast dedicated to discussing paid media and marketing. Every episode, we're joined by a brand that wants to grow online. We delve into their business, dissect what they're doing, and define a digital growth strategy they can take and deploy into their business. And best of all, you get to listen or watch along, then take those learnings into your own business. Make sure you check it out on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. But for now, let's get back to today's Tea Talk.
All right, so that's some of the stereotypes then. So I guess if I'm watching this Tea Talk, I'm going to be saying, okay, Lou, it sounds good. I've thought about it. So tell me why should I advertise? What value am I going to get? I'm on Google. I'm spending lots of money on Google. Why should I do Microsoft? What would you say in that scenario?
Because if you're trying to grow, you want to reach new people. But you might not also be wanting to reach new people. You might want to reinforce what people are already thinking. Okay. And let's talk about the scenario where someone's at work and they're like, at lunch break, because you don't want to be looking, keep it real and corporate time. Yeah. And you have already had an idea, you've seen something on social, you're like, I really, really think I need to get my conservatory roof replaced, for example. Sure. And you go onto Bing, because that's what you're using, and you see the ad for the ad that you saw on social. And then you go home, you're on Chrome, and you look again, and it's still there. You're just reinforcing that message, and you just need to see it as another platform. The other reason is that actually Bing does index a lot of other networks, so ChatGPT and DuckDuckGo. It's everywhere, and also you have that LinkedIn overlay too. So
so really that's it, and that's a really interesting point. That there were lots of people that don't know that Microsoft Ads is woven into, as you say, ChatGPT, LinkedIn. Yeah. It is used more frequently and prominent. It's more prominent than people probably realise. Yes. And as you say, because fewer businesses are focusing on it, it is an untapped opportunity to a degree. And there is a market share there. It's not going to compete level, with Google, but it is another string to the bow. And what we've been discussing is the CPCs, so the cost per clicks will be lower because it's less competitive. And there is a market share, and it's, the great thing with search, whether it is Google or Microsoft, is if they're not looking, if they're not actively searching in the market, well, you're not going to be spending money because they're not going to be seeing your ad. So it's almost take a portion of your budget and then go do it. And I think that brings us on to, this is not in any way instead of Google. This is, so if I like to run scenarios. So if I'm running a business and I'm spending 10 grand a month on ads on Google, and it's working for me, and it's ticking, and I'm growing, I'm happy, this is all working. What, if we think of one of our clients, what are you going to be saying? Are you going to be saying spend more to Microsoft, or are you going to take a portion of the Google budget? What are you going to do?
So we often recommend to start with, you go 10%.
Okay, so 10% of so £1,000 in our scenario, you'd go and put that into Microsoft.
Yeah, exactly. And you'd have a look at the analytics platform you're using and just see how much referral traffic or traffic you're getting from your Bing-led networks, and just kind of make a guess. So I think we're already getting about 5% of traffic organically. Right. I think it'll probably be about the same again on paid. And then you can kind of start to get a good idea.
You can run a scenario. Yeah. Okay. So in your experience then, when you've been championing Microsoft, give us one or two stories of examples where you've seen it, where you've done it, and it's really taken, you've been like, whoa, we've opened the floodgates here. Have you had that?
I do like the idea of Microsoft being championed like it's an underdog, but isn't.
It's only worth, yeah, exactly. But it is seen as that. You can't help it because,
is.
I mean, for all of your wanting in the world, not many people are binging it.
No,
Like,
they're not.
I wish more people were.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, they're not binging it.
Not the same frequency.
So different scenarios. So I've had a couple that are really, really good ones. So B2B. So for example, for evergreen clients, you could look at interior designers, anyone you're trying to bring in from a commercial point of view. So we have had B2B do really well. So lead generation does tend to do really, really well. And for a much smaller CPA. So I think in the past I've had like a 70% less CPA on Bing than I have on Google.
And so the interior design, just share with our viewers how that is actually happening. Why is that happening? What are you tapping into from that audience? How are you able to get that audience?
So for LinkedIn, you can do that overlay. So we're working on the basis that people are updating their LinkedIn titles, and then you can put that detail in there. You can also go for companies. Yeah. So you can either do company size, company names, that kind of thing. So you can basically take some of the LinkedIn targeting and use that as part of your Microsoft ads to say, I want to phone. So you can tap into some of the best bits of LinkedIn audience targeting, which is very, very powerful for your Microsoft ads. Yes, exactly right.
You're welcome. Like, if you didn't know that, my God, stuff is hugely powerful and massively untapped. And as you say, particularly if you're B2B, if you've got a commercial audience that can easily identify itself, you can go, well, I'll have a bit of that, please, with Microsoft, which is something more difficult to do on Google.
Yes.
Amazing. Amazing. Any other thoughts?
And then for a travel client that we had once, there were 3 major competitors in the market. Google's very present. On Bing, it was just us. Like, the competitors were not there. And you often find that people just don't think about Microsoft ads. And it's just such a quick win in lots and lots of ways. If the search is there, you should be there.
So for the uninitiated, when it comes to Microsoft ad, we all know Google, you've got shopping, you've got performance max, you've got this and the other. Just give us a run through of what can you do on Microsoft, and equally what you can't do that you maybe can do that people are going to be more familiar with Google, because a lot of our audience are going to be more familiar with Google than they are Microsoft. So what can and can't you do?
So in theory, you can do everything you can do on Google, on Microsoft, and so that's how we often start. We do a carbon copy over and then we optimize towards that. Yeah. And there are some bits you can't do. Display network, for example, this might be a risky thing to say out loud, but I would say it's not as good on Microsoft.
We just lost the almost Microsoft sponsorship we were going to have on the podcast. That's just gone. That's just gone. That's got, oh well, it's fine. It's fine.
I would, sorry guys. I would just say that because when you think of Google partner networks or their network, it's huge. Like Gmail, you've got YouTube. And stuff,
it's massive. Yeah,
you can't replicate that with Microsoft.
But the other thing, shopping and all of that sort of stuff in terms of leveraging search, shopping.
It's all very similar. Yeah.
So you can do it all. You're worrying over nothing. So, okay. So that makes sense. Just expand on what you just said. We sort of glossed over it in terms of the import. So you can just replicate Microsoft, because from a management perspective, it can be in the early stages when you're dipping your toe, quite a simple thing to do, can't it? Yeah. Just how does that work in reality, in practice, in terms of if they go, okay, we'll start doing Microsoft, what does that mean we've got to do? What's the easiest way to start doing it? Do you have to go and set up a whole new account and then build whole new campaigns and whole new account structures? Or is there a quicker, leaner way of doing it?
It's a quicker, leaner way of doing it. You do.
Anyone thought I know, and I led you to that.
It is much like Google Ads in the sense you need to have a tag set up.
Yeah.
And you can do that through GTM. So you've already got that. Google winning again. And you can just do a straight import. But I mean, that does sound very simple, but you do have to remember it's a different audience. So once it's imported, you do optimize towards that audience. But one of the best things that they did in the last couple of years is that you can import the feed and the merchant center over. So for shopping, that just changed everything for Microsoft ads, in my opinion.
Love that. Love it. See, and lose ahead of the game. So that makes sense. So we can import the feed. Now, if logic would dictate that if you're only going to take, say, 10% of your budget initially, and that would mean you might have your account set up with lots of campaigns and you're targeting lots of categories of product and service and so on. But if you're only taking 10%, yes, we can import that, great. We're only going to take 10% of the budget. Does that mean we should only be running 10% of the campaigns? or do we still continue with a similar structure on Microsoft as a general rule of thumb? But then surely you're not spending enough, you're going to spread yourself too thin. So what, as a typical rule of thumb, what would you recommend doing? Just go for your best performing campaigns or what?
It depends.
She knows. She knows. She knows. She knows. It depends. We're not allowed to say that word. And yet we seem to every single day. It's it's almost like the it depends has become a Brucey bonus. Hey, there we go. They've been telling me I've got to get in Brucey bonus more frequently. The cheap seats over there. Brucey bonus. Right, okay. So it depends, but give us a little bit more. Come on.
So it depends because you're working on the basis that it's a true carbon copy from Google to Microsoft.
Okay.
So the competitor market might be different. The auction is going to be different. So we work on the basis that, and anecdotally, we see lower CPCs. So you're not spreading yourself too thin because actually you're getting more money for your click. More click for your money. The other way around. You just have to be led by the data. Okay. So I would start from the top. I would start with everything and then whittle down and rebuild if you need to. But I would work on the basis that you want to know first before you go back.
If you think of the accounts you've worked on, I just want to say all the various accounts where you've had clients where it's been lots of Google, we introduced Microsoft, skip forward a few months. Yeah. As a general sort of, if you look back at the various accounts you worked on, how do you find that most of the accounts, the structure and the focus and stuff, does it tend to be quite similar, or is it wildly different? Don't say it depends. She's gonna do it, but does it? But have you seen? You must have seen them where. Like, have you got some extreme results? There must be somewhere you go, Google is this, but Microsoft fundamentally, we've got to set this thing up in a whole different way. Yeah. You must see some of that.
So the company, the client I spoke about before, the travel one. Yeah, that was a completely different. We did a carbon copy, we ran it, and then we noticed that there were none of the competitors were there. Yeah. And I mean, again, it might be frowned upon by some people, but we set up a competitor campaign and we just won. And over on Google, that competitor campaign didn't do, and it was awful.
Fascinating.
Because we were just capturing that traffic, so the competitors weren't there. We won on that one.
So give us a couple of top tips then. What would you recommend for businesses that have maybe considered it, tried it, hasn't worked, not done it? What are some of the things, any top tips that you say, if you're going to start, if I'm a business and I'm going to start doing, I think, well, do you know what? Listen to Lou. I like Lou. She's good. Probably thinking, she needs to feature more. Get Aaron off. So if they're thinking, oh, Microsoft's good, what is a couple of practical things they could go and just implement and do now straight away?
Get your Google foundations right. Okay. I would, despite my championing of Microsoft, you do need to have your Google foundations right because it does give you a good base. Yep. I would go and look at your data that you've got already and just check that you are getting organic traffic because if you're not, you probably won't run well with ads, actually. And if you're not, then maybe that's something you need to review to find out why you're not indexing. And then my train of thoughts just completely run away with me. I think that's probably about right. Just get those two foundations in place and then we'll go from there.
Get the basic, I say, get the foundations and then build upon that. Simple but effective. Well, quite. Your Microsoft empire. There you go. Well, look, well done you for your first Tea Talk. Hope you've enjoyed it.
Yes, I did.
And it's this is the first of many because we're gonna pick Lou's brains because one thing I've found myself saying in recent weeks is Lou knows best. Because she's amazing what she does. So we'll watch this space. We've got lots of topics and ideas. I said to her, can you come up with 1 or 2 Tea Talk ideas? Whole list of different things you want to do. It's gonna be lots of Microsoft, lots of Google because you do masses of Google, more Google than anything else, and that's been, those 14 years that we discussed. So huge amounts of Google. YouTube's another one we're going to be talking about a lot because I know you're a big fan of YouTube ads, which is music to Darren's ears. In fact, we're going to have to put you two together to talk creativity and YouTube because that's a marriage made in heaven. So many things, so many ideas, so many more Tea Talks coming your way. So I hope you enjoyed this one. We are going to wrap this here. All that I'm going to say is if you haven't, make sure you subscribe. Check out all of our content. Tea Break comes out every Thursday at 11 a.m. You can sign up on our website. I think, as I'm wrapping this, our office dog, is about right, hold on, let's in-joke. I think he's just turned up. If I say his name, I wonder if he'll... Ginny, you here?
Yes, I am.
Is Truffle here?
Yes, he is.
But he's just on a bark. I don't think.
Oh, we're not going to get a bark. I thought we were going to tear. Truffle? He's not going to do it. What did they say? Don't work with animals or kids. And it's so true. Right. Thanks so much for joining. We'll see you in the next one. All the best. Take care.